Yep, she can go. Wait. Nah, it's going live.
Live.
Hit the button, see? You should be good to go.
What up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of No Balls, No Glory on this Tuesday, January 29th. I am your host for the evening. Dino is filling in for the imitation champ who had to take care of some stuff.
Hey, motherfucker, let me stop you there. You got to give me some energy, man. You got to say, welcome, everybody, to another episode of No Balls, No Glory. I'm the man, the people's champ in the building. Hey, man, I'm not here by myself. I'm in the car. Dino I gotta coach this motherfucker how to intro everybody. Hey, without further ado, we got CC, the first lady in the building. CC, introduce yourself.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl, CC, the First Lady. I know y'all see my government name up there, but that's all right. We gonna keep it rolling.
God damn it,
tonight.
you better change it.
We don't see it. It's okay, but I'm saying I ain't 100%. I'm trying to power through this, so my energy level ain't where it normally is. Stall me out, Debo.
All right. That's all right, man. We'll start y'all. Hey, we got my man West 10 all the way from Nashville's finest. Hey, all the way from Memphis via Nashville. West 10 in the building. West, introduce yourself.
Hey, it's your boy, Mr. West Tennessee, man. Ain't no such thing as Memphisville, but we gonna keep it real. You know what I'm saying?
I say all the way from Memphis
Tennessee.
via Nashville, motherfucker.
From Tennessee.
Damn, man.
The fat vegan's on one tonight.
Yeah. But y'all already know from Tennessee to the Lou. Y'all damn sure know what to do. What's going on, crew?
Man, that's what's up, Wes. Hey, man, we got my man Coach Corey in the building. Coach Corey, introduce yourself.
Hey, man, this Coach Corey, man. I didn't think we had a host, so I had to jump on live from DePaul Hospital, man. I'm chilling on the ledge in the hospital, man. But, you know, it's Tuesday night, man. This is what we do. From the Lou to the 10, West 10, we at it again, man. If y'all see some doctors and nurses walk by, don't pay no attention. We still having a ball.
If we hear too many beats, we hear too many beats, man. We're gonna have to make a call.
We're gonna swing it up. And Drew dog. Drew in the building. Drew, introduce.
What's going on, y'all? It's Drew. Another week, another crazy week in sports, that's for sure. And like I've been saying last couple weeks, no matter how much these damn Eagles make me scream, I'm always bleeding green.
Drew say, no matter how much they make him scream, he always bleed green. Hey, man.
Blood transfusion.
In a minute.
Damn. Cold-blooded, boy. Them motherfuckers ain't even waiting to get started. Hey, man, how y'all doing? Hey, I'm going to let Dino finish it up, man. Dino, tell him, brother.
All right.
How y'all doing today?
How's everybody doing?
Hey, man,
I'm doing good on this Tuesday.
Except for I'm in the hospital doing a podcast from the hospital.
Everybody thawed out from the ice storm yesterday.
Yes, all good and thawed out, and like I said, right now I'm chasing the Tasmanian baby with fruit snacks and cookies.
Normally that works.
We didn't have an ice storm up here.
Y'all didn't get it at all in Philly?
No, not really. We actually temperatures started rising for us. We're up to 44 today. We're supposed to be up to 63 on Friday.
What in
So,
the hell?
so Drew, the drought continues, huh? The 7 weeks in a row ain't nothing good happened in Philly, huh?
I'm saying. I'm
Damn.
saying.
It is
Damn,
all
coach.
bad.
Hey, the only thing in Philly gonna happen is that damn groundhog gonna see his face in the next couple weeks and shit. That's the only thing that's gonna be good in Philly.
Ain't that in Cleveland, bro?
That's
Hey, Philly
Punxsutawney
too.
Phil, bro.
It's in Philly
Hey,
too?
yes. Hey, and on top of that, if the groundhog come out the wrong way, they gonna chop him up and put him in the cheesesteak. Shout out to the D'Alessandros, baby.
Yeah, y'all gonna have to pardon the fat vegan tonight. We're gonna give him a pass. Matter of fact, we're
That's
gonna
what's
give him
up.
a pass and a pause.
Yeah.
And he ain't said shit yet, but I'm telling you it's coming.
Hey, man, whatever you
All right.
doing, do it and get out of here, man.
What you say, man?
Whatever you doing, go do it and get out of here.
Hey, man, I'm in Litchfield, almost to St. Louis, man.
Yeah, you
And we
got
don't
about
want
another
you
hour
up
and a
here.
half.
Don't come to
Man,
St. Louis.
Litchfield ain't no hour and a half. What you smoking?
Shit.
What you bringing bad
Litchfield
luck
ain't
up
no
here
like
for?
right. What you
Drew, why
say?
should I tell you? He gonna get here and the temperature gonna drop. We liable to get snow tomorrow.
Dang.
That's fine. You know, we could use another day, a day from off the gig. Another kids could use another day out of school.
Shit. It's over with it it's over with in Tennessee. We got our week for the year. You heard me.
I got y'all powder for the year, huh?
Yeah, we got our week for the year. We get a week of snow a year, goddamn it. Hell. And they don't know
Look,
how to act. They want to shut everything down.
I don't need another full day in the house with the Tasmanian baby.
The TB, huh? We ain't talking about tuberculosis.
Hey, man, how do I sign the host of one of y'all, man?
That's a good question. Let me see.
Yeah, I'm on my cell phone.
Let me see if I can request it.
You know, this,
Nope.
what does mean, the cell phone?
It is not letting me have host rights.
So
I
I'm
mean,
on my cell phone.
for a year.
I'm on my cell phone like you. What you say?
I was on my cell phone a year, goddamn, before I got on the laptop. What that mean?
Hey, man, you're a dick, Will.
not he called
fault.
this man a penile on Tuesday.
No, I called him a dick. A
Okay.
Richard.
Oh,
I
See,
called him a Richard. God
now,
damn it.
now, now y'all see why I said during the original intro that we're gonna have to give the fat vegan a pass for the day.
Oh
You
yeah,
can
because
see
he the
why I
only
said
one.
that shit.
All right,
the
man.
baby face vegan.
Where's my dude, though, man? That's my brother, boy.
What's going
All right.
on? Yeah.
Um,
What's up, man?
so let's get to this run sheet.
Yeah.
So we're gonna start off with our one hitter quitters. One hitter quitters.
About Keisha?
I'm
My
having a hard
bad.
time. We got a couple. So let's start with the NBA. The Bucks say bye-bye to their head coach.
And I don't see shit he did wrong. I'm still trying to figure it out.
Well, I will say CC did say early in the season that it ain't meshing like they wanted to. He's beefing with Giannis, and that's not gonna end well for you.
Yeah, but I think what it is some underhanded stuff going on. Because all of a sudden they fired a head coach, and within hours they are trying to work out a deal to get Doc Rivers.
Wow.
So apparently, this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that they wanted Doc Rivers to begin with, and they didn't meet his number. And now,
apparently they understand Doc Rivers' record because Doc Rivers can't coach a good team to save his life.
That's what I was just getting ready to say. Coach Doc Rivers ain't won shit.
since 08.
Only thing Doc Rivers is good for is fucking up a good team.
Damn.
That's true. I hate to say that, man, because I was rooting for Doc back when, but over time I seen that what Coach saying
ain't no
is
more
true.
room for Doc Rivers. He can't coach a good team.
Right. He had all that talent with the 76ers and couldn't make it work.
Man, what?
Get the 76ers. He had Lob City.
The Clippers, he had talent.
Hell, the Lob. Hell yeah. That nigga had about 3 teams. Only way he got it with the Celtics because the OGs was over there, man. Paul Pierce and goddamn Garnett got them motherfuckers, man.
And if you let Kobe tell it, the reason why he got it in 08 is because that was the year Kobe tried to be nice to everybody. He tried to hold people's friends, pat them on the back when they did wrong, instead of cussing them out like he normally did. He went back to being an asshole. They started winning championships again. So when they lost in 08, he said, "That's the last time I'm gonna be nice. I can't do that. I got to be me.
No more Mr. Nice Guy.
No more Mr. Nice Guy. Mr. Nice Guy didn't win championships.
He did.
So yeah, Doc Rivers, that's his one claim to fame. You literally, I blame Doc Rivers for Chris Paul not having a championship.
More so than that ref that he was beefing with?
A little bit both.
Yeah, both of them had a hand in it,
man. He definitely had a hand in it.
Yeah. Both of them had a hand in it.
No, ain't no reason for that.
Leave that alone.
Seemed like both of them had it out for them. Not necessarily in one way or another. Let me say that. Goddamn, obviously the referees were a little more mischievous, but Doc, I don't know, man. Doc I don't know, man. Now he don't need another good team though. I don't know, man. He questionable like a motherfucker.
Yeah, and we talk ad nauseum on this show about recycled coaches, man. And it's not just the NFL, it's the MLB, it's NBA, it's NHL. Just keep recycling these same coaches, especially the ones that haven't really won anything. Maybe they could talk a good game and get the job, but they don't get results. So I just question some of these teams, like, are you really trying to win? Or you just want to get a big name in there to appease the fans, but you're not necessarily trying to win. That's my thought on it. But that was number 1 on the list. Number 2 on our one-hitter quitter, Tristan Thompson, suspended 25 games for violating the anti-drug program.
Smoke.
No.
What did he do? What did he do?
Let's be clear. In 2020, the NBA stopped testing for marijuana, so you could smoke weed.
So
damn, so what you saying?
Clearly, it was not the Giggle Bush.
He graduated from
was it some booger sugar?
It probably was some booger sugar.
It said for performance enhancing drugs, and I'm trying to figure out, bruh, you don't play that much. I
mean, you take the right stuff, it will enhance your performance, at least for a couple of games.
Yeah, but you don't play.
It ain't about playing that much, CC. It's about taking advantage of your opportunity when you get it. He just want to be ready when his number called.
Stay ready. You ain't
just
got
like Ric Flair. Woo!
Okay.
Shout out to Richard Flair.
Yeah, so apparently, I mean, I don't understand. The NBA gave you a gift and stopped testing for weed.
Exactly.
They said,
but that ain't it. But you gotta understand. You gotta understand, see, that ain't everybody's thing, though. Goddamn, know what I'm saying? Everybody's thing.
But I'm just saying they gave you a pass and a freebie on one.
So this is not his first time getting busted.
Other niggas sit back like, damn, why we had to be the first thing? they didn't test for why it couldn't been the sugar. Damn.
Not sugar.
Hell, they do it too. Hell, they the one we get it from.
They ain't get caught.
Sugar.
They didn't get caught.
That's how Andrew Wiggins' dad got kicked out the league. The booger sugar.
I just heard. I'm just saying for what I heard. That's a rich nigga drug. You know what I'm saying? So I knew it wasn't for me. What I heard about. You know what I'm saying? So
right. So yeah.
You know.
All right, we got a couple more on this list. I guess I'm reading this kind of out of order. Pardon me if I'm out of order.
We'll get right.
Kevin Porter reaches a plea deal. And it's a assault harassment case. Got a link here. Let me see if I can get that pulled up. All right, we're gonna share real quick. I'm sharing like that
of his actions, but it's always good when you can figure out a plea deal that especially in the judicial system.
Yeah, they hit him with a bunch of misdemeanors and what is it?
Yeah,
he pled.
Hide your ass.
He's not gonna get charged no felony. He's going to get counseling, and apparently there was some lying and things went on with the with what she said.
Shit, Patrick Ewins.
That's what I'm saying. I just say that. Are they making some new ones? Because I don't remember them just being slick fly like that.
Yeah, I don't remember them PEs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They making some new Ewins out this bitch, ain't it? With the long tongue.
Yeah, Ewins had his own shoe. That was before Starberries.
Not the Starberries.
I had some Starberries when I was a kid.
$15?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I took a class trip.
You got about 2 bucket games out of it before they
disintegrated. We took a class trip up to New York City for the day, and I went up in there and I bought like 6 pairs of them bitches.
Just load up.
Yep.
You're only gonna get 2 bucket games out of them before they disintegrate.
I think I only played a couple games of basketball. Like when I was younger, I could play because people were closer to my size. Now I'm only like 5'3", 5'4". So once everyone hit puberty, man, that whole
game over.
That game over for me.
Hey Drew.
No more post game for Drew, huh?
Nope. I mean, I'll stay around the mid range or the 3-point line and I'll just shoot it all day. But if somebody jumps up to block me, probably 70% of the time it's getting put right back in my face. So
yeah, you gotta hit him with that Tommy Mansky pump fake.
Hey Drew, it ain't so bad down here though, man. I let them know all the time.
Yeah, you got pump
fake. I'm just closer to him.
Yeah, we go.
Speaking of shoes disintegrating, does anybody remember Etonics? Might be dating myself. Anybody remember the Etonic running shoes?
I think so.
The sole will always come loose, and after maybe about 2 months, they start talking to you when you walk because the sole's coming off.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
Good old some of my favorite shoes as a kid. I had some questions and I had some answers from the AI.
Not questions and answers. No, you had a dilemma, my dude.
The questions and answers.
That sounds like a dilemma.
The only question I got is what the hell these shoes Dino them brought up? I ain't never heard them.
I don't know, man. I think the designers, man, like basketball shoes to me, personally, it's a lost art as far as designing. The golden age of hooping shoes was late 80s through the 90s.
Yes.
Anything after that, it just kind of like once MJ hung it up, they just look like shit.
I ain't gonna lie. Now look, LeBron's there's more of him though. You feel me? I got like 3 pair of LeBrons. I like them just now.
I got 1 pair of LeBrons. It's some 360s, and they the same cool gray patent leather like the cool gray 11s, but they LeBrons, they got the 360 air unit. That's the only pair that actually look nice. I think they the threes, LeBron threes.
The best thing about LeBron.
I think what they started doing was they started making shoes for themselves and not for fashion. So they started designing shoes on what was comfortable for them to play in and what they like.
It can be both, like MJ. his shoes were fashion and comfortable.
Yeah, shit to do with his design, man. First of all, players are boy has on in they design now. You know nowadays.
But they not artists though. They need to let the artists do their thing. Like y'all not artists.
Yeah.
Right, like
y'all basketball players.
Yeah.
Like I guarantee you, Steph shoes are designed so for his ankles. That's what his shoes are designed for. They not designed.
I never understood how Kobe played in low tops. Like, bruh, like where your ankle support?
I ain't seen a pair of curves that he had them on the court, man.
KD got low tops. Who else got low tops?
You hear me, Chris?
I'm gonna show y'all a nasty pair of J's here.
I ain't seen a pair of curlers. I ain't seen a pair of curlers unless he had them on.
Oh, the lucky green ones.
These are the gray pine greens.
Nice.
That's what I'm
Eagle
saying,
colors, huh?
Oh, you damn right. I bought these when they released those Kelly Greens, the Kelly Green jerseys. I grabbed a Kelly Green hat. I grabbed these shoes. I got it all. I got the full outfit for game day.
You ready for goddamn what's that Green Day?
St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, that's what you ready for that. You got
and these motherfuckers around here call me a leprechaun anyway, so what the hell?
Okay.
Y'all can't really see it, but his beard grows in like red and shit sometimes. Like, man, I'm telling you.
Man, right. Hey, we gotta get Drew on the goddamn on the credits too.
Yeah, I gotta send that edit to my nephew. Dino, we can't hear you.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
oh, my bad. I'm just talking, ain't nobody saying shit. I said we got out the car for a minute, but we back in. We gonna close 4 doors and move on.
You know,
Joel Embiid and Big Cat go off in the 18th anniversary of Kobe's 81-point game, but one performance stood out over the other. CC, this is your area, so I'm gonna let you have it.
Okay, so, and I am actually prepared. I made an actual note on my phone for this one because it burned my bacon on it. Damn. Because I got tired. I got tired of seeing the history. Cat scored 62. First of all, Cat had a nice game, right?
Okay.
Joel Embiid had 70 points, 18 rebounds, on 59% shooting, 5 assists, 24 for 41 from the field, 21 for 23 from three. From the free throw line, 1 for 2 for 3. Now he can shoot that. He can shoot it from 3 too, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't live out there. Cat's numbers, percentage wise, they're good. He was 21 for 35 from the field, 10 for 15 from 3. This is where it gets kind of funky at when it comes to Cat. Cat went 22 points in the first quarter, 22 points in the second quarter, 14 points in the third quarter, 4 points in the fourth. Cat had 2 fouls, right? Mm-hmm. They blew an 18-point lead, lost by 3 to the Charlotte Hornets, who were 10 and 35. And on top of that, you know how when they get down to a close game, and say like you got Damian Lillard got 5 fouls, right?
All right.
So they go, but you need Lillard in there on offense. So they might sub him out on defense, right?
Right.
So to make sure that he don't foul out of the game, so he can get him back in on offense when it's a tight game. They were doing that to Cat yesterday, and he only had 2 fouls. Why is a guy who has 60 points
coming out?
Was subbing out because he's a defensive liability and he's your center?
Yeah, that's dumb. And that's what causes these basketball games. Like,
did you hear the coach explain it?
Huh?
Did you hear the coach explain why he did that to Towns?
No, I didn't. Why did he do it to Towns?
Because Towns was he felt like Towns was trying to get points and was forgetting about the whole for lot what the fuck they just talked about in the timeout and the team in general. He was trying to do too much far as points, trying to because they feel like he was trying to patent his shit. Like Cuz asked him, "Do you think Towns was trying to do that?" He said, "Yeah, I did." They told Towns what his coach said, and he said, "Well, he ain't gonna tell y'all nothing he ain't told us already." Yeah, he expressed it to me already. You know what I'm saying? So he was 100 about it. He said he think Cuz would try to pad his shit instead of doing what we were supposed to do. We were forgetting about the team philosophy, what we were trying to do tonight, because he went on a good run the first half. So I guess he was just, we want to feed. He said we want to feed the hot man, but we got away from the game plan in general. You know what I'm saying? I was
they
like,
got
damn.
away. But here's the. Go ahead.
But Town said he told him that too. So I guess he won. Hey, he was being 100.
But you got Charlotte, who has won 10 games. You are the what?
I feel you. I feel
you. You are the what is Minnesota, the 1 seed or the 2 seed?
Either one or two.
They 1 or 2, right?
They number one.
They won the 1 seed. And you had all 5 starters for Charlotte were in double figures. 2 of them dropped over 25. One was very close to 20, and the third and the fourth one got traded today.
Hey, Crystal, he did say defense was crap too. He said defense was some crap. He was hard on his team.
So yeah. So what burnt me up is seeing Big Cat next to Kobe and Embiid. The Sixers won by 10. Kobe, all 81 of those came in winning a game. They needed all 81 of those points to come from behind and win the game. And the rest of the team might not have been one of their better teams, but they understood what was happening. They understood that Kobe was in a groove. He was taking the wheel offensively, so they locked in on the D. That's what you're supposed to do.
So the 61 catch scored came in a loss, right?
62 he came in a loss, and he only scored 4 points in the fourth quarter. And they were subbing him out on defense in the last 2 minutes of the game.
Well, he's a defensive liability, man. The cat, and y'all know my philosophy about these big guys shooting and stuff, man. There's no way, man. The big man back needs to be against the basket, and they need to just take it from there, man. But now the game has got so finesse. You got everybody wanting to come out there and shoot threes. 7-footers supposed to be down there pounding the board, shooting threes. Man, you wouldn't hear that in the late 80s, in the 90s, and early 90s. No.
Embiid can shoot that thing just as well as Cat, and he took 2 threes last night. He hit 1.
It shouldn't be no threes taken and stuff.
People, the thing that stand out to me real big is what a lot of winners are judged by. Fourth quarter, man. How you score the least in the fourth quarter though? You're supposed to be this damn hot. Like, what the hell?
And that's what Wes. What the coach said was BS. I'm sorry, what he said was BS. You taking Cat out, like you understand. You said Cat was more focused on padding his numbers, but you were taking him out on the defensive end. So you're not answering the question. You took him out because he's a defensive liability, not because he's trying to pad his numbers on the offensive side.
But when is the day the 7-footer? You're supposed to be there protecting the rim. But you too busy want to jack threes up and shit, man. Unbelievable, man.
No, what it ultimately
7-footers used to protect the rim, man, but now they don't.
No, but you gotta understand, BP. All of that is the European influence on basketball. And this actually started about 15 years ago. Ever since all the influx of Europeans coming into the league, they don't play traditional center positions over internationally. they're actually a part of the offense that they use them to score points. They play a finesse game. So now you have at least 35-40% of the NBA are imports.
Man,
if you really sit down and look at it.
And
who you say it started off with Dirk, but you know what? I say it started off kind of with
before
Kukoc.
Dirk. Dirk was just the first one to actually won a chip. It was Bengas or Sabonis, all of them cats. That's how they play.
Hey, you gotta think about it. Kukoc, and you can go one step further than that. You can go deadlift shrimp.
Deadlift shrimp.
Hey, 6'11", man. I'm telling you, man. The European, hey man, hey, he was jacking that bitch, boy. Hey, but the Europeans have took the basketball game and extended it out, man. You will never have another big man like Shaq to dominate the paint. I'm sorry, I don't see it happening.
It's over.
AD out there shooting threes and stuff, man. Come on, man. Man, you just
want to throw back. It's just a different era. You could say the same thing about football. You got hybrid players. You don't have a traditional defensive players. Like you got these cats playing linebacker at like 225 when linebackers used to be like 270 because now it's more of a speed game. So the game just evolved. And like I said, it's a European influence on basketball. And this is why you're seeing it. So that's not going anywhere. That's more like the norm. It's like you abnormal if you big man and you can't shoot a three because guess what? You're not going to make it in this league on just defense and rebounding. Like Dennis Rodman would not make it in today's NBA. Like you have to be able to contribute offensively.
Oh, no.
Just look at the scores. Like when you rarely see a game 78-82. You rarely see those anymore. All these games, they score 140, 150 points a game.
Hey, man, they don't get paid. The name of the game now is putting the ball in the bucket. They ain't getting paid.
Didn't Steve Kerr say they're taking defense out of the NBA?
Yeah, they did.
They are. And it's not it's the European influence.
Putting the ball in the bucket and scoring the basketball. Good job. What's our next one-hitter quitter?
We done. We moving on to our UFC pay-per-view recap from Drew.
Drew Dog, give it to us, baby.
All right, guys. I'll just give the main card. But I do want to mention one fight from the prelims. It was the first fight of the prelims, actually. Jillian Robertson and man, what the hell is her first name? It's like.
Are you talking about the woman battle, Drew?
Yeah, the Poliana Viana and Jillian Robertson. The first fight from the prelims. So Jillian Robinson, she's 13-8, only has 2 TKOs in her entire UFC career, and both of them have come when she's fought in Canada, and she's a Canada native. And man, I'll tell you what, that fight was actually it was a pretty damn good fight. It ended about a minute 40 seconds into the second round. She just literally was just beating the shit out of her. It was a good fight to watch. But then I'd say the first fight of the main card was Arnold Allen and
Drew.
Yeah, what's up?
I don't mean to interrupt you, man, but you act like boobs and everything came out, man. I ain't seen a good woman fight unless all of that happened.
I only know one. That's Ronda Rousey, and she been gone.
Yeah, like, look, man. I'll be honest with you. West 10. I don't mean to sound sexist. I don't mean to sound any type of way, but the women's fights in the UFC tend to be a little boring, and it's just you don't see them scrap the way the guys scrap, and I don't know what the reason behind that is, or if they just don't hit as hard, but like there was there was 2 title fights on Saturday, and the women's bantamweight title was vacant, and so they had Raquel Pennington and Mayra Buena Silva fight, and I think it was the most boring title fight I've ever watched in my life. It was horrible, and I mean Raquel Pennington, she's a vet of the game. Buena Silva's relatively new. Nobody really knows who she is. She's got a 10-3-1 record as a professional, and she's only been in the UFC maybe 3 or 4 fights. But those couple of fights that she had coming into this, she was dominant. She's a jiu-jitsu practitioner, and she was just choking people out or submitting people. Raquel Pennington, she's been around forever, and this was finally her second shot at a title, and she came out, like, I'm looking at the stats right now. She threw 206, or that she threw 342 total strikes and landed 265 of them, with 134 strikes being considered significant strikes. So like damage causing strikes. And her opponent only threw a total of 118 strikes. And the fight ended with Buena Silva laying on her back with her hands behind her head, getting her legs kicked. Like that ain't a good
out.
Yeah, that ain't a good look. If you're trying to go for a title fight, you sure as hell ain't getting it that way.
I guess my question, which I guess is part of my turnoff with UFC, and you're more of an expert than I am. I just remember the times I did watch it when a guy or a girl has a guy pinned, and they put him in some kind of hold, and they trying to get him to tap out.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it ain't that, where they just sitting on top of him and pounding the shit out of him.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that's not really entertaining, because it's not an exchange like where boxing, like, combo, and then the other guy comes back with a combo, and then it's a punch, and it's just like you sitting there watching somebody just get the crap beat out of them. That's just not, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to see an actual spar.
And I can agree with you to a point. But as I've been watching UFC since I was since the original Ultimate Fighter on Spike TV.
Damn.
With Stephen Bonner and Forrest Griffin going to fucking war.
Oh, you talk about the UFC when they had Royce Gracie and everybody else, Ken Shamrock down?
Look, so I didn't watch much of that, but later on in my adult life, I've actually gone back, and I think I've watched probably every pay-per-view or main fight. Now that I like ESPN Plus, you can watch them all, and I've watched all the way back from UFC 1. And UFC 1 was a whole completely different era. Those guys would fight multiple times in a night. So now you got guys doing 6, 8, 10-week training camps for one fight, and championship fights are 5-minute rounds, and non-championship fights are only 3 5-minute rounds. So it's a whole different ball game from what it used to be. But another pretty good one was the Neil Magny and Mike Malott fight. So Neil Magny, he's kind of like the gatekeeper in the welterweight division. He's always been ranked within the top 15, but kind of at the lower part. And you'll see all these younger fighters that are trying to make their push. They got to come through Neil Magny to know. And to be completely honest with you, it looked like Magny was he was controlling the fight a little bit, but then Mike Malott had some good moments, but then he gassed himself out, and that fight ended TKO by punches, with Mike Malott getting his face pounded on right at the end. So, and Chris Curtis and Marc-Andre Barriault, they were the second fight of the main card, and Chris Curtis is actually Sean Strickland's training partner, and they're kind of a different breed, Sean Strickland and Chris Curtis, because they'll do a little bit of bag work, a little bit of mitt work, but these guys hard spar every day in practice, and to a point where they were both, even in the week up to the fight, were hard sparring. And
they can't really do that, and not in the UFC,
Oh, I'm telling, like, Sean Strickland, all he does when he goes in to train, he comes in, he just wants to spar, and he will rotate people in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out, and he will just spar and spar and spar and spar. And I think that's what kind of got him in the position that he was in when he took that Adesanya fight on short notice. Sean Strickland, he seems like he just loves to fight. And he even said it before this fight. He doesn't give a shit about the belt. He just has a love for fighting, and he just wants to fight.
Jeez.
And
that's dangerous.
And it is. And if you can tell by the way he fights, he kind of fights out of the Philly shell, stands up, like standing way up, and it's just he has some of the best defense too. Which, I mean, you can refer to boxing, and Floyd Mayweather, he fights out of the Philly shell a lot and barely gets hit.
He was that kid walking around just hitting people for no damn reason.
And I'll tell you, man, Sean Strickland, that fight ended in a split decision with Dricus du Plessis getting the win, which I think is fucked. I'm just gonna say it because sure, du Plessis, he's got a real awkward style, super awkward, constantly switching stances, throwing leg kicks, body kicks, whatever. And they score in the UFC based off of like octagon control, damage, takedowns, whatever. Now, my big gripe with that is du Plessis had 6 takedowns on 11 attempts. Sean Strickland didn't even try to take him down because, like I said, he's a mauler. He's a brawler. He just wants to fight you. Now, on those 6 attempts, he didn't do anything with it. He took him down. Strickland, within 15 to 30 seconds, was back up. They were back on the feet. And total strikes thrown, Sean Strickland threw 419 strikes. 183 of them landed, and 173 of his 183 strikes were all considered significant strikes. He busted du Plessis' face up. Like,
so there was like 4 love taps, and the rest of them were haymakers.
Basically, honestly, Strickland fought behind the jab for the first 2 rounds. He was just jabbing the shit out of him and piecing him up. And I remember, I think it was in between the first and second, maybe from second to third, du Plessis' left eyelid looked like it had a golf ball in it. And it was completely like black and blue. Then when the fight ended, Strickland was pouring blood out of the left side of his eye. And they're like, oh, well, that looks like more damage done. Today and Sunday, Strickland has posted on his Twitter about being hit with a headbutt. And it was an unintentional headbutt. It wasn't even called during the match. I had to go back and rewatch it. And there was like, du Plessis came in and shot and like kind of threw a punch, but then came up and hit him right on the side of his eye and split him open. I don't think it was a nasty cut, but it was just right, like I said, right in the corner of the eye, and it was just running down his face. And it was kind of like with the sweat and then moving and everything else, it was kind of getting into his eye. And I'd say going into the 5th, conservatively, I would have said it was 2-2 going into the 5th. And then I think Strickland won the 5th round, but they ended in split decision. And I'm going to just assume that it was because of the 6 takedowns and the fact that his eye was bleeding. Like he was a bloody mess by the end of the fight. But watching the fight, I don't know. I hate a split decision. I hate that it goes to the judges and it can go to the scorecard because usually it's done by whatever boxing commission is in the city. This time they were at the Scotiabank Arena in Toronto. So it was sanctioned by some boxing organization because it seems like, I mean, the UFC is big enough now. They should have their own thing. You know what I mean? They shouldn't do this 10-point must system on the scorecards and everything else because there's so much more involved in UFC than there is in boxing. Because you got kicks, you got takedowns, you got submission attempts. And then they call it like octagon control and aggression and like who controls the center of the octagon more. Like, man, I'm telling you what, if you're just running around and then taking shots, normally I've been in a couple fights in my life, and if somebody's shooting on me, it's because I'm whooping their ass. You know what I'm saying?
That's part of. I guess that's part of my issue with boxing is the whole the whole judging system.
And they have judges
it's rigged. To me, it's rigged.
They've never fought. I think if you want to improve how the judging goes, you need to have former fighters or former boxers
at least
be your judges.
2 or 3.
At least.
Yeah.
Because honestly, you look at some of these judges and they're 65, 70-year-old men or women that look like they've never been in a fight in their life. And you're having them trying to score a high-paced fight where it's not just a boxing match. Like, these guys are kicking, they are punching, they are elbowing, they're tackling you, taking you down, trying to choke you out, break your arm, break your shoulder, break your knee. Like,
and then you have to tally. You have to tally all that stuff, just like you said,
in
versus
real
boxing,
time.
where boxing is basically did you land or did you not land? Did you get knocked down? That's pretty much all you're looking for.
Right.
Oh, well, this person was more busy. They threw more punches. That's easy to kind of tabulate versus all of the things you said in UFC that they have to actually keep an eye out for.
I'd say overall it was a good fight card, but I was pissed that I paid for it. I've seen some UFC fight nights that are free that were better. And I think Dana White's a selfish bitch because they charge damn near $90 for these UFC fights. And now, since they've partnered with ESPN, I think they have to do some astronomical numbers. So where it's basically like, for a while there, every Saturday you're having a UFC fight, whether it be a fight night or a pay-per-view fight. And it seems like now there's almost one pay-per-view per month. So
yeah, they get into these dumb contracts. And actually segues me to another question for the whole crew. What are y'all thoughts on pay-per-view? Do you feel like pay-per-view has it's outlived its usefulness with all of the streaming services? Is it kind of pointless to have anything pay-per-view at this point?
Yep.
Because we're over 30 years since like the pay-per-view days.
Hell yeah.
It all started with the Tyson fights in the 80s.
And there's honestly a lot of ways to if you want to say illegally stream these fights.
It's ways around most things now. So what's the point of even offering the pay-per-view? Like,
now, I will say in the UFC, the fighters do get
a pretty good cut of it.
They get a cut of the pay-per-view. Especially like in this fight, the Duplessis and Strickland fight, they'll both get, I could probably look it up, but they'll both get a decent cut of the pay-per-view numbers. But I'm sure, and I know it's lately, there's been a lot of fights that just people would rather stream them illegally and use a VPN and illegally stream the fight than to pay.
Don't give all the tricks of the trade, Drew.
hey, it is what it is. But so we have, I think it's next Saturday. So February 3rd, there's a UFC fight night. Then February 10th, there's a UFC fight night. And then we are at February 17th. So consecutively the next 3 Saturdays, right? If I'm doing my math right. We have UFC fights, and it's 2 fight nights and then another pay-per-view for UFC 298.
And you just had one. So like you said, like once a month.
Basically.
Yeah, now usually in boxing, you get those quarterly. You probably get one every 4 months.
Right.
One every 3 months.
Right.
Yeah, now, it kind of makes you excited about it.
I will say UFC 298, I'm super excited for. And I don't think I'll mind paying for that one because we're going to have a featherweight title fight with Alexander Volkanovski and Ilia Topuria. And those two are just 2 savage individuals. And I think Alexander Volkanovski is, if he's not number 1, he's number 2 on the UFC's pound for pound rankings as the best fighter out there. He's fighting featherweight, which I want to say is 125, maybe 135. Which for him, he's 5'6", so it's 145. He's 5'6", 145 pounds. Before he started his UFC career, He played rugby in Australia and weighed almost 240 pounds.
He lost 100 pounds.
Damn near lost 100 pounds. Now, that's his fight weight. That's what he's got to weigh in at 145. I'm sure he's stepping into the octagon somewhere around 160, 165, maybe 170. Because they get to weigh in first thing Friday morning. Then they get to rehydrate, eat, do all that good stuff. So then him being the main event fight on Saturday night, he's got 30 hours, 36 hours to completely rehydrate and bulk back up. And I mean, he's a freaking savage. And then Robert Whitaker and Paulo Costa are fighting. Ian Machado Gary, he's a lot of fun to watch. He's another fighter out of Ireland. He fights in Conor McGregor's camp. He's a lot of fun to watch. Henry Cejudo's fighting, which he goes by Triple C because he was an Olympic wrestling champ, I believe. And then he's had the featherweight and I believe men's bantamweight titles in his UFC career.
How about I'm trying to not run through the fucking puddle of water that gets there.
What was that? What was that, Coach?
I'm driving, man, and this asshole behind me is blowing a horn at me. But the road floods. So I'm driving to get out of the flooded water. And he's driving thinking I'm doing something totally different.
Well, I mean, we can get out. Thanks, Drew, for the UFC update. We can get out the car for a little minute before we jump in the NFL. And I know it just ain't me, and I know it ain't you, Coach Corey, but have y'all noticed, probably since COVID kind of wind down, people just fucking forgot how to drive.
Oh my God.
I don't understand. Like,
I wish we could go back to the COVID days when everyone was at home because
just stay home.
I was considered essential being a commercial roofer, and I got to go out on the road, and the only people you saw out there were other construction workers and truck drivers.
That's it.
And we all knew how to drive then.
Right. Like, I don't understand. Like, okay, I understand safety. I'll give you an example. There's a street here in North County for all of my St. Louis people. Street's called Lynn Haven. It's in Hazel. Oh, God. See, that's all I had to say. The speed limit on the street. Now, that's not a narrow street.
This asshole shit. Fucking 367.
Yep.
God damn it. Oh shit, I ain't even muted. God
no, you're not. You want to fill us in, BP?
Man, I'm driving down 367. This motherfucker just busted an abrupt U-turn in the middle of 367. Asshole. Motherfucker. I'm sorry, y'all.
You know what though?
We don't have road rage. We don't have road rage at all. Case in point, is why I stopped the show to talk about this very topic.
It's
right on time, goddammit. Right on time.
Here's my thing. Going back to Lynn Haven, y'all know where that road is. Drew, you might not be familiar with it, but the speed limit is 25.
Ooh.
Speed limit is 25. Most places, the speed limit's 30. So your car goes 30. If you even touch the accelerator, you're going 30.
Right.
So you actually have to try and drive 25 miles an hour. But here's the kicker. There's a sign right above, there's a picture right above the speed limit sign that says, keep our kids safe. Drive 25. My thought is, take their asses in the backyard to play. Why the fuck you playing in the front yard on a busy ass street? Go in the backyard like normal kids and play in the backyard. Drive this fucking car. 25 is too damn slow. And then you get some jerks that do like 20. But then here's the kicker. When you go around them, they get pissed off and honk at you. I'm sorry that you're driving 20 miles an hour. I got somewhere to go. So if
hey
you
man, it's fucking kids in the goddamn zone, D. What the fuck wrong with you, man? You lost your goddamn mind. There's kids out there.
It's wintertime. Ain't no kids out playing near a busy street.
You can't have seasonal speed limits.
We talking about St. Louis, man.
We talking about Lynn Haven. You know where it is, BP. We talking about Lynn Haven. Right there off of Lindbergh.
Yes.
All them houses have backyards where them kids can play.
I agree with you with that, man. But goddamn, D, slow your ass down, man.
No, like who would do? You doing 20, my dude? 20 miles an hour.
How fast are you going down that road?
I mean, at least do 30, 35. That's a reasonable.
This motherfucker doing 40. he the asshole. You say he gonna end up hitting one of them kids one day.
Damn, you gonna burn bread on me like that, BP? That's fucked up, man.
Saying, you that asshole. That's man. He gonna end up hitting one of them babies. What?
Keep your babies in the backyard. That's why you got a backyard. That's worse than people that barbecue on their front porch.
I ain't got no damn backyard.
You ain't got no backyard, Wes?
I ain't got a yard either.
They not
so
gonna
your kids play in the front yard.
You not gonna be like,
we got a playground.
I stay on the
or that. Find a park. It's plenty of parks.
You're not gonna be like old boy and boys in the hood. Keep them damn kids.
Man, I swear I hate taking that
street.
Keep
them goddamn babies out the street.
I'd be so pissed. And it's like, come on, drive. And then here's another one. Here's another one. You seen somebody driving that's got the handicap sticker and the handicap plate, and they drive like the car is handicapped, but they the one that's handicapped. Ain't shit wrong with the car. Drive.
Shit's wrong with that right foot.
They said the sticker on the car. The sticker on the car, not me.
Exactly.
So it's something wrong with the car.
Ain't nothing wrong with the car. But they drive like the car handicapped.
In PA, you're not allowed to drive with that placard up there. Technically, no. There's a law in PA. You're not allowed to have anything hanging from your rear view mirror. They can pull you over and ticket you for that.
We need that shit down here to stack.
You're not supposed to do that here, but people do it.
People don't care.
Doing it right now.
I'm gonna tell you right now, though. I think the worst drivers in the country all come out of the state of Maryland.
Nope, it's Missouri, hands down.
I've
driven in Detroit. I've driven in Chicago. I've driven in California. I've driven in Arizona. I've driven in Texas.
You need to come.
I've driven in enough states.
83, 495, 695, and 95 through Maryland, and then
I think it's Dallas.
I know Maryland.
You just got to drive. You gotta do 90 to get on the highway in Texas. That's just what it is.
Well, I'd prefer that.
I would prefer that than people getting on the highway doing 30.
But I'm gonna tell you, these assholes in Maryland, they drive. When you're in Maryland, they drive like a bat out of hell everywhere, cut you off, swerving, doing whatever, you turning in the middle of the highway, doing whatever the fuck they want.
That sounds like Chicago.
As soon as those bastards come up to Pennsylvania, I swear to God, they hog the left lane, because also Pennsylvania has a law that you're not allowed to cruise the left lane.
Lane. I got the HOV lane.
No, not really in PA, because we don't really have too many big main roads that run through. We just have Interstate 81 and Interstate 83 around here, and then as you go, get down into Maryland, that's where you grab 95. But so you're not allowed to cruise the left lane here. It's used for passing and emergency vehicles only. But Maryland drivers, they're allowed to use whatever fucking lane they want to.
Well, tell them about members. They'll pass your ass in traffic on the side of the highway. So
they do that bullshit in Maryland too.
You heard me? They'll pass your ass on the shoulder.
On the shoulder.
Bridge, my name. On the bridge, on the shoulder. They don't give a fuck.
Hey, Drew.
You talking about them grooves they got on the side? That's supposed to be for truck drivers in case they fall asleep.
We call them drunk bumps here.
Drunk
hey,
bumps.
Man.
That's a good one.
Not the drunk bumps.
They have circle parties, baby.
I call them zippers. Get your ass off the zippers. There's the Tasmanian. What up, Taz?
Wes, what were you about to say? Yes, sir.
Hey, is that true about Maryland, man? Because it gotta be. I seen some shit the other day, man. They still stealing cars like a motherfucker in Maryland.
Oh my God!
They said
car theft
is you can't. They said a woman went to get her prescription, left her car running. That motherfucker was gone when she came.
Yo, I'm telling you, like car theft is like no other up here around this area in Baltimore, in Philly, in Pittsburgh, Harrisburg, fucking any burg you can think of up in this area.
Drew. Schittsburg. We don't say Pittsburgh.
I'm sorry, Schittsburg.
Yeah, there we go.
You know what?
Car theft is a motherfucker.
Come on, CC. You can't keep letting him get you. Like he paused this man in this whole dialogue.
I'm about to say
it's with love.
Hey, well, I'm gonna tell you right now, Drew. I ain't gonna have a car when I come to be more.
I wouldn't, because you won't have it long.
It's gonna be a rental, so they can steal that motherfucker.
They can steal that.
Yep. You come up to Baltimore and I'm telling you right now, if you walk away from it for a minute.
Hey, man, I'm coming to Baltimore. Now, we already planning our trip to the bank next year.
Yo, you gotta hit me up when you get up here.
Well, here's the thing.
I'm only 45 minutes from Baltimore.
The reason you got all these carjacking still now is because common folk, regular folk, can't even buy a car now. They overpriced. The interest rates are still high as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
So what else you gonna do? I just steal one. So until that shit gets under control, you're not gonna be able to do anything about that.
So listen to this shit. I moved into this house a few years ago, not where I'm at currently, but I was moving in the house. And the day I was moving in, I was unloading shit out of my car. I walked in and I had full hands, so I couldn't even lock my car. I literally walked in the front door, set shit down on the floor, and turned around, and there was 4 motherfuckers stealing shit out of my car.
Damn, like roaches.
Some Memphis shit right there.
So I grabbed the 45 that was already on my hip, and I come out and put one in the chamber and watch them scatter like roaches when you turn the fucking light on too.
Beat it.
But that's back
sad,
when I was a little younger and dumber then, and I was kind of doing my thing, slinging a little bit of stuff here and there, you know what I mean? And they happened to grab my backpack. Boy, you never seen me more pissed off in my life.
Yeah.
I hopped in the car and I chased this pack of kids down through alleys and shit. I cut one off with my car and I grabbed him up and threw him in the back seat of my car and was like I sat in the back. I'm not going to go into too many details. Don't want to incriminate myself.
Yeah. You don't have to go.
I made the old lady drive to go find the boys to get the rest of my shit back. So
you do what you got to do. Because don't feel bad, Drew, because your boy almost got caught up too, tripping one day, not paying attention at the gas station, because that started last year, the carjackings at gas stations. Because, most people don't lock their doors at gas stations. They pump the gas and then they'll go in and grab food or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So me just not tripping. I pumped my gas, but the car wasn't working at the pump. So I was like, it says go see a attendant. I was like, okay, shit probably ain't working. So I'm walking inside. Didn't lock my door. I left my cell phone sitting there, just tripping. And so I went and paid, and literally I turned around.
Hiding because he's gonna go boo boo.
My passenger side door was open. I was like, damn, why they door wide open? I took another step. I was like, fuck, that look like my car. I took another step. Shit, that is my car. What the fuck? So I got there. I got in and out so quick they couldn't get anything. Like they lifted up the center console. I didn't really keep anything in there. They didn't even open the glove box. So what they do is they pull up with a car. Another guy gets out, opens the door, and then drives off with the car, or just tries to steal whatever he can get his hands on.
Mm-hmm.
So man, you cannot be caught slipping right now. Like I lock my shit every chance I get.
In 2000. 12, I got robbed at a gas station outside of DC. When I was in the Marine Corps, I was coming home on leave, and I left and kind of drive in the middle of the night, and it was probably 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm at this gas station. I'm just pumping gas, pumping gas, pumping gas. Next thing I know, I feel a little sharp little poke in my side. There's a dude standing there.
It was cold too, boy.
I'm telling you, he took my wallet, took my car keys, took everything, and left me standing there at the damn gas pump. Like literally still had the pump in my hand, and I'm watching my 350Z drive off. And I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. So I ran into the gas station, called the police and everything. Luckily, I knew my plate and everything else. They called him a couple miles up the road. And then the cop came back and got me at the gas station and then took me to my car, and I continued my trip home. But
wow.
It was so when I was in the Marine Corps, after I got back from Afghanistan, I dropped like 15 grand on a 350Z and then put about another 30 into it before I ever even drove it. So this thing was like 700 horsepower, just bad as fuck. Like,
it was fast and furious.
For sure. And that was another reason why I chose to drive at night, because I was like, the roads would be empty. I can kind of just shit it and get it and fucking would be out. Like
do all the pulls you want, huh?
I'd get from Cherry Point, North Carolina to York, Pennsylvania in 6 hours and 12 minutes.
Damn, not he timed it.
Like, and then I'm standing there pumping gas, and I get
throw the seconds in that motherfucker.
I get the dude, I think honestly probably what called him is what I call the anti-theft device of these days is most people don't know how to drive a stick shift.
Oh yeah, they get a stick, they lost. They lost.
Just learned how to drive one, Drew, a couple years ago.
Like, what's a clutch?
When I got my drive, like my mom taught me how to drive when I was like 13, 14 at our fairgrounds parking lot. And she had a stick shift vehicle.
Had a stick?
Yep. So I took my driver's test. I took a driver's test on a stick shift car. So I prefer a stick shift, and that's one of the things up here. Like my last car that I had was a stick shift. I would leave that bitch unlocked because I knew 95% of the people that were going to try to steal it couldn't even drive it. So
yeah, good thing you said shift at the stick, Drew, because I was gonna have to pause you real quick because you almost said I prefer stick. So good job. Finish that sentence up. But yeah, man, we jumped out the car again for a second. We had to get some shit off our chest. But for the No Balls, No Glory family, safety moment. Keep your head on a swivel. Lock your shit at the petrol station.
And keep them damn kids out the road.
Moving on. NFL divisional playoffs. Well, sorry, got a little ahead of myself. We're going to talk about the coaching carousel first, and then we'll do a recap of the divisional playoff games. So, looks like the Raiders actually did something right.
And then they did something wrong. So go ahead.
We'll talk about what they did right first. The Raiders named Antonio Pierce as head coach.
As they should have.
As they should. Now, Cece, tell us what they did wrong.
They hired, hold on, as the GM.
Who was the GM?
They hired, I think the guy from the Chargers.
Don't say Brandon Staley.
As a GM. No, not Brandon Staley.
Tom Telesco.
Yeah. That's what they did. So they hired somebody who just got fired.
What?
It was either him or the guy from the Panthers. One or two.
You literally just undid what you did to fix. You got rid of one problem and then brought in another.
Pretty much.
Moving on, the Titans have named Brian Callahan as their head coach, former OC for the Cincinnati Bengals. And Coach Corey can attest to this. We talked about hiring these damn offensive coordinators and trying to make them head coaches when they're not. Mark my words. It ain't gonna work.
He about to get exposed.
You're gonna get exposed. The best thing you can do now, NFL, I'm talking to you. You hire a good, really good defensive coordinator, make him a head coach, and you bring in a really good OC. Most OCs are just OCs. I'm sorry, Bill Walsh's don't grow on trees. You're just not gonna get I couldn't even name 5 OCs that went from OCs to head coaches and were successful at being head coaches. Most of your successful head coaches were defensive coordinators. Mike Tomlin was a defensive coordinator. I'm trying to think who else was a really good coach that was a D coordinator.
Think of all the ones doing good right now.
Yeah, well, Harbaugh was the exception. He was a special teams coach.
But think about what was going on in Tampa Bay.
Todd Bowles, defensive coordinator. Drew, what's going on?
I'm scrolling down through NFL and I'm looking at coaching news. Brian Johnson will not return as the Eagles' offensive coordinator.
Breaking news. Clean it out. So with that being said, is Sirianni next?
Hope so. But no, he won't.
No. Tell y'all, Sirianni's trip to the Super Bowl last year saved his job. Well,
I just hope they don't decide to keep Matt Patricia around us and make him the defensive coordinator.
That dude.
If they do that, I'm be cheering for the Lions all season next year.
Hey, I'm telling you what's about to happen. Matt Patricia is about to be the next head coach in Philadelphia.
Don't you fucking put that evil on us. Don't you dare.
Why else would you bring him in and get rid of
the OC and the DC?
Yeah, that you had.
So what do they do with Sirianni?
He's the only guy.
The Wolves?
Bye-bye.
He's the only guy on that staff with NFL coaching experience as a head coach. So now they keep Sirianni. They give him a chance to start the season, and then when they dump him, they move Matt Patricia in as a head coach.
Well, what has Matt Patricia done to deserve being a head coach? Absolutely nothing.
Nothing but be a.
He was just under. Crony. He was under Belichick.
Belichick crony. He's a crony. That's how it works, man. You can be a crony and get a job.
Okay, so let me ask you this: is that worse than the Raiders getting the Chargers' former GM who just got fired?
Yes, that's worse.
Not
the Chargers GM don't know what the hell he's doing.
What in the world, man? Like what?
Like the Raiders, like you was excited for the Raiders for like 24 hours. Then when that came out, I was like, oh damn.
There was nothing wrong with their existing GM. They just didn't have their quarterback because you hired a dumbass coach who got fired from another team and tried to bring in his guy. When you already had the quarterback there, you just need to build around him. Yeah. How do you think you got Devontae Adams? Because if Derek Carr wasn't there, Adams was not signing there. So you turned around and got rid of the one thing that got you Adams. Yeah, this is why I said what I said earlier in the show when I really question if these teams are really trying to win. Are they doing just enough for you to buy a ticket? Just enough for you to keep watching. We ain't really trying to win. Because I know we got some stuff on the run sheet. We got a lot to get to in NFL, but what's not on the run sheet is the whole shit that's going on in Dallas. But we'll do that at the very end.
Oh yeah, that's kind of like a what the hell.
Somebody hired the Atlanta Falcons OC or DC. I think it was DC, defensive coordinator.
Yeah, that was I heard that this morning. Who hired
And
him?
I'm thinking to myself, what did he do to get another job? Was Atlanta's defense any good?
Their defense was okay. Their offense was so bad that it made their defense worse than what it was.
Yeah, their defense was decent.
Yeah, it was
okay.
solid.
I'm just double checking.
Yeah, their defense was decent. It wasn't like top tier, but the games they did win is because they had a solid defense.
So back to the Eagles, what's next on the list? Not only did they fire their offensive coordinator, they also fired their defensive coordinator, as Coach alluded to. Just wanted to point that out. Cece, you got here. The Panthers promoted ex-linebacker as GM. Do we know who that linebacker is?
No.
Is it Luke Kuechly?
I don't think so.
Let's see if we can find a name. Bear with me, folks.
That
we
was
find out this person's name.
I was just trying to figure out, like, isn't there steps to like being a GM? Like, shouldn't you have done something GM-ish?
Almost.
Dan Morgan, former Hurricane, is now the GM. He's president of football operations and GM. So he has 2 titles. No credentials. 2 titles.
That's amazing.
We doing something wrong here. All this sports knowledge, we can't get a damn job.
And we wonder why. The Panthers,
We wonder why these teams stay losing.
And they have a Rooney Rule.
Damn. Wasn't the Panthers in the Super Bowl not too long ago?
Almost a decade ago at this point.
Shit. I couldn't even give them that.
That was a decade ago.
I tell you a quick story about trying to give somebody credit. So my wife, she don't really follow football like me. Like, she'll look at it a little bit, but she's not into it like me.
Right.
So when Dallas lost in the wild card round, she heard me talking about it. She seen some of the memes on social media, and she goes, "What's the big deal about Dallas losing?" And I explained to her that, yeah, you were probably a very, very young child the last time Dallas won. And this is why they get so much vitriol and hatred, because their fans are a little obnoxious. And she goes, "But I still don't see what's the big deal that, like, they lost, like teams lose." I said, "Well, yeah, they had a really good regular season, and they had aspirations of going to the Super Bowl, and they lost in the first round to a team that everybody thought they were going to beat." And she goes, "Well, maybe the weather was bad." And I said, "Well, dear, they play in a dome." She was like, "Never mind." So even my wife, who don't even hardly watch football, couldn't even give Dallas a damn excuse.
Nobody can.
I just thought that was hilarious. It really tickled me. So moving on down the list, the LA Chargers, who this guy said Harbaugh was going to about 6 months ago, is meeting with the Chargers again, second interview. Typically, if you have a second interview, like Coach said, you're trying to work out numbers.
Just get him a job.
Just give him the job. Why we got to go through all these interviews? I get the Rooney Rule. All right, you did your Rooney Rule. You interviewed Raheem Morris, which you had no damn business even getting an interview. But that's that on that. So it just seems like these vacancies are taking way longer than they should to get filled.
Yeah, it ain't that deep.
I think they kind of just dragging it out and just trying to keep their name circulating.
It's not that deep. I mean, it's never really. They're making it more complicated than it actually is.
Harbaugh is not going to the NFL.
Why you say, Coach?
Because Michigan has put a deal out there to make him the highest paid coach in college football.
So you think you think he's not going to pull a Petey Wheatstraw and dip with all of those allegations down there in Michigan? You got your championship. You don't have an NFL championship.
They can deflect all that.
Well, the jury's out. I still think he's going to the Chargers.
Yeah,
because they don't have a plan B. Because Belichick looks like he's going to Atlanta. Because for a while, there was rumors that Belichick was probably going to go to L.A. So if they don't get him, I have no idea who they're going to go after.
You know what I heard today?
What's that?
Belichick to Buffalo.
Oh, damn, that'll just stick it to the Patriots. They got to see his ass twice a year.
Yeah, that would be.
The poor Jets, they have to deal with him still.
Buffalo.
Belichick
had a hatred for Buffalo. I don't think he'll go.
We'll circle back. We'll circle back to that one. If he does go to Buffalo, so I said a while ago that Sean McDermott's job is basically on the line this year. If they don't find a way to get over the hump, because the window for Buffalo is closing. You already got Diggs throwing temper tantrums. I don't know if he's going to be back. You had a lot of injuries. You know, you got Von Miller, who's probably at the end of the road. And they didn't get it done Sunday. I'm kind of jumping ahead. They let the Chiefs get him again, and they had him at home right where they wanted him. So I guess my question to all of y'all is, do y'all feel like Sean McDermott should be fired?
Some got to give.
Get his ass the fuck out of there.
Some got to give.
Yeah,
why you so angry, BP? What did he do that was so? Because remember when I said earlier his job was on the line, he was like, "No, he good, he's safe."
Well,
so what changed?
Well, you know what?
I don't think
he was safe. I say he got him turned around. He won the East. That's what saved his job. But me personally, from putting myself in the shoes of the fans and what Buffalo has to do, I was really, really, really in my heart of hearts thinking that he would be fired just because the fact he got to the playoffs and he could not beat the Kansas City Chiefs. And I think that's his Achilles heel. I thought that was gonna be the X factor, even though he came back, won the division, but since he couldn't beat the Chiefs, I thought that was gonna be the X factor.
I thought he was gonna get fired for that block.
Hey,
no man.
BP, if we don't beat the Chiefs, you think Harbaugh should get fired?
Absolutely not, man. He got to prove it. He's a proven winner, man.
Hey Wes, that's you getting all out the car on some other stuff. That is so not on point. Harbaugh ain't done nothing.
He get fired because he didn't beat the Chiefs. That's it.
No,
that's the only reason.
No, that's not why. But
that's what I was asking BP.
No.
The reason why is because the Bills have been like the quintessential team on the rise for like the last 5 years. Ever since they got Josh Allen, they got Diggs, and then they built the defense. So they had the pieces to win. And for some odd reason, every year they find a way to not win. So at some point, like you said, you got to call it like, hey, this is just not working. We can't get over the hump. And you got a very small window in the NFL where you can keep a group together because everybody's basically trying to get paid. So you're not going to be able to re-sign everybody and keep that group together. So you got a small window to make it happen. And unfortunately, that time probably has passed the Buffalo Bills.
And to kind of answer Wes' question, Harbaugh is in that same category with Mike Tomlin. They gonna leave when they want to leave because of what they've done for those organizations. It's not Harbaugh's resume and with Baltimore stands alone by itself. So it's not going. There will be no reason. It ain't just about not beating.
It was just a hypothetical question,
right? It ain't about not beating. It ain't not about not beating the Chiefs. It ain't about not beating the Chiefs.
That's a big part of it, though.
It's a big part of it, but it ain't just it's that how much more are they going to give you? And then on top of it, look at what he did in the game. Like that fake punt was enough to get anybody fired.
Okay, well let's talk. We'll jump ahead a little bit since we own that game. Let's recap that game because I have a question because somebody was telling me the same thing about that fake punt. Apparently, the Chiefs only had 10 men on the field.
Mm-hmm.
This is why they audible, and that's why they call the fake. Here's my problem with the fake. you don't have an established offensive player executing the fake. You got DeMar Hamlin running the fucking ball, who's not a running back, who's not a wide receiver, who's not a tight end. So if you're going to have that set, wouldn't it be advantageous to have an offensive player executing the fake? Yes or no?
No.
Yes.
Well, I got both. Which one is it?
Because I understand what.
Why you say no, Coach?
Because the defense is
because defenses look at personnel. If you put an offensive player in there, that immediately tips them this about the
Well, yes and no, because the thing is, you that special team person has to be in every special team setup. You can't just be like, okay, we gonna throw them out here now. We gonna definitely run the fake, because there's plenty of running backs, like your third and fourth string running back, typically play special teams. Yes. So why not have your fourth string running back or your third string tight end run that play, who are used to running with the ball because they're offense?
Because those guys can't fucking tackle. You don't put people on special teams that can't fucking tackle.
Okay.
Guys that are on special teams are on special teams because they can do one of two things. They're fast, they can cover the field, and they can fucking tackle.
So the same thing goes to
running back out there who just can run down the field and ain't gonna fucking tackle nobody. Because the people on punt return are game breakers. So you got to have people on punt team that are not going to allow them to break the game open.
So with that same logic, I guess who answered yes? Was that Drew or CC when I said you should have an offensive player on that punt coverage team? That was Drew?
I said yes.
Okay, tell us why you say yes, CC.
For the same reason you was like, so at least you have somebody out there to execute it, but I do see what Coach Corey is saying. The defense would have sniffed that out. It was just stupid to be like, I understand that the Chiefs had 10 men on the field, but you're in your own, like, if this goes, like, this is one of those things where if it goes wrong, it could go really bad. Because now you have the Chiefs who had, in the first half, they was kicking field goals.
Mm-hmm. But
at this point, they're driving. They've been driving the whole second half. The length of the field, going down and actually scoring. So now you're going to put Patrick, if this goes bad, you're potentially putting Patrick Mahomes well within field goal range. So now he can go up 2 scores on you. Like, it's too much. It's like when Dan Campbell, when he did that 2-point, when he did that 2-point try against Dallas, the must have, gotta have it play, and it worked. But then they got the call called against them.
Right.
At that point,
so which one's worse? Which one's worse?
They're both. I mean, they're
yes,
both.
They're equally bad, but one's worse than the other.
The Chiefs one is worse than the other, because at least the ramifications for them losing that game wasn't out of the playoffs.
It was a regular season game.
It was a regular season game. Like, if he got caught up in his ego and should have kicked the field goal, tied the game up. But either way it goes, it wasn't getting ready to win. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like that he was going to lose anything that he was already got. You're putting Patrick Mahomes at the 15,
30.
20-yard line. 30
like
yard
28
line.
Or something. Some stupid close. Put it
close. And if this does not go right.
So with that being said, that the consensus is there's 3 reasons why the Bills lost that game. 1 was the fake punt. 2 was Tyler Bass, the kicker. And 3 was Josh Allen, who's been the whipping boy for like the last couple of years because of his erratic play.
Actually, you want to know what? I'm not even going to call him Josh Allen on that one. I will Josh Allen had one throw to Shakir. He should have gotten that ball.
What? I mean, yes, but I'm gonna go back.
Diggs dropped the bomb.
No, not even that. I got to play better for you. Third down, it was the down after he missed that throw because that was second down. It was a third down play. He rolled to his right. I think he was trying to get the ball to Diggs. He had a check down. It's like 3rd and 12. So the odds you picking it up are already slim. You're in field goal range, but that doesn't mean it's optimal for a field goal based on the conditions, right?
Right.
So common logic is, hey, I'm going to take the check down here so I can get it closer for a field goal. Now, if he breaks the tackle and gets the first down, great. But at worst, I'm giving my kicker a shorter kick with the win, right?
Right.
That's the play right there that nobody's talking about. Take the check down. The man was wide open going across the field. He could at least got 7-8 yards. And maybe the guy would have missed the tackle. He could have slipped. Anything. Take the check down. But he was going for the home run ball again. And that's my issue with Josh Allen. Yes, he got a little better this season from not doing it. Not the first 7 games. Because the first 7 games he was doing that same bullshit. And they was in danger of pissing the whole season away. So I'm going to give some of the blame equally to coaching and Josh Allen. Because the game was right there. All you had to do was drive, put the ball in the end zone. Don't leave no clock for Mahomes. Apparently, because he can move the ball in 13 seconds. I sat there and watched it. I said, the Bills need to kill this whole clock and score a touchdown. Because when they score too soon and leave time on the clock, Mahomes gonna go right back down the field. And sure enough, they tried to settle for the field goal, which is not optimal. Like I said, the wind was whipping all day. I get you at home. If anybody should know the wind there, it should be your kicker. But how many times have we seen kickers miss shit that they should make?
Right.
Now, I will also say on that third down play that when the Chiefs were driving where they called the pass interference, that was kind of bullshit. And that continued the Chiefs' drive, which I believe they then scored off of.
Oh, you talking about the one
where
the cornerback that been getting penalties the whole game?
Yeah, and he just kind of chipped Rashee Rice on his route, which it was legal contact because the ball was still in Patrick Mahomes' hand.
Right. That was. But you know what that was, right? Remember the Chiefs Bills game in the regular season when the Chiefs got hosed on that call against Kadarius Toney?
Mm-hmm.
Makeup.
They gave one back.
That was makeup call. We gonna let that one slide.
What a bad time to have a makeup call.
It doesn't look suspicious because it's such a bang play and it's so close.
Right.
But they ran that replay back about 4 or 5 times, and you could clearly tell Patrick Mahomes was just bringing the ball back when he chipped.
Oh, we all saw it, but the first thing I thought about was that's a makeup call. I mean, for those who watch hockey, you know exactly what I'm talking about when I say a makeup call.
And after that,
they'll swallow the whistle. They'll make a call against the team, and at some point, they'll make a call against the other team. And the penalty, neither one of them are penalties, so we just call it a makeup call. Hey, we screwed y'all on that one. We got you later on in the period. We'll give you a bullshit call.
Yeah, the Bills definitely got bailed out after that fake punt, and then the Chiefs fumbled through the end zone.
Right, because why the hell are you giving Mecole Hardman the ball anyway at any point in the game?
Yeah, that should have went to
Pacheco ran it all the way down, so apparently he twisted his ankle.
Yeah. I'm gonna say it should have went to Edwards.
Okay, well then give it to Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He can run it in from like the 1.
Right.
Or the 40-yard line, wherever they were.
But then I think right when the Bills got the ball back, there was 2 or 3 consecutive, or I think it was 2 consecutive bomb shots down the field. Like by the Bills, which
Hero ball.
And the one went right through Stephon Diggs' hands. So
they've been taking him to the woodshed. Like you do all this crying,
like you
all this complaining, you don't throw me the ball, and then you get one,
and it went right through your hands.
That's why you can't do all that bitch in the morning because you gonna drop them. Everybody drops them. You can have the Jerry Rice drop passes.
That was probably the one ball he needed to catch all fucking game and didn't.
How about all year?
Yeah, you're right.
All year.
That would have made their season. Yep.
Yeah, because at that point they have Kansas City use all their timeouts.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just run the ball, get it down there, make sure you got enough time, give yourself an option to either pass or throw. Game over. Mahomes don't even get the ball back.
Right.
So, yeah, man, that's I would just say because I picked the Bills, and I don't know who else picked the Bills with me last week, but
I did.
I said this is the shut up. This is the year for Allen. Either he gonna do it or he's never gonna do it.
Now, aren't they 0-6 against the Chiefs?
Yeah, I'm at the point of like he's just never gonna do it.
He can't. Like Patty Daddy is Josh's daddy.
Yeah, he can't do it. I own you.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, and I think because of that, McDermott's got to go. Because basically, we've seen over the past few years, multiple years, you have to beat the Chiefs.
Yeah.
And if you can't beat the Chiefs, then what the fuck what are you doing?
You are worthless.
You don't have a resume to stand on if you lose to them. You know what I'm saying? You don't have it.
Now I think Lamar might have something for the Chiefs this week, but we'll see.
Yeah, we jumping ahead.
I thought I'd never say that.
We're gonna circle back to that one. We're gonna jump over in the NFC side and talk about the 49ers and Packers. What are your thoughts on that game?
I think it was another Packers 49ers, duel. Like they're good for those classic games. They're good for those back and forths over the years. And I thought the 49ers played with their food a little bit too much. And basically what I was saying on Thursday. That's why I was saying that those two teams, those two quarterbacks, you cannot play with your food with. You have to put them away. Because Jordan Love showed he came in there with way too much confidence. He dismantled the Cowboys, and he had been on a roll coming into that game, and he dismantled the Cowboys. So if you wanted to not be in a situation that the 49ers was in, if it wasn't for the fact that Jordan Love threw one of those off his back foot throws.
Very questionable throw.
But he was throwing, but he threw like 4 or 5 of those against the Cowboys.
And it worked.
But
this one was even worse than the ones against the Cowboys because there was 3 guys on his receiver. So it wasn't like you were fooling anybody. There was 3 guys there. He'd have did better just tucking it and running.
Right, he would have. But it just what I got from that is like, one, Brock Purdy gonna have to prove this weekend that he, unless Debo goes, he gonna have to prove this weekend that he can play without a security blanket.
Speaking of which, good segue. My next question was, we talked about the teams that had buys coming out rusty, and we saw that because even Lamar lamented on it that they wasn't taking care of business on offense. They were rusty. They were out of sync. Yeah. And the 49ers, again,
they picked it up.
Started slow. And I was like, uh-oh. This isn't the first time we saw this from Purdy.
The only thing we saw different from Purdy, where Purdy would get somewhat of a pass this time around, is that unlike the Cleveland game, he did the same thing in the Cleveland game. It's just the kicker blew it for him in the Cleveland game. He got him when as bad as he played in majority of the game. back up against the wall. When he had to make a drive to take care of business, he did.
Why are we all still talking so much shit on Brock Purdy?
Yeah, Here's the thing with Purdy.
What do we really expect of the guy that was titled Mr. Irrelevant?
You want to know what?
The problem is the Brady comparison because of how Brady came out of nowhere and turned into what he is, and now he's the next Brady. So he already got labeled for something that he shouldn't have been labeled.
I'm just gonna say that motherfucker was balling when it counted.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not sure if you guys saw it. There was like a real slick little fucking play he did where with all that rain coming down, he took a snap. He was about to take a pass. Did you guys even see like he went to bring it back and then just held it in his left hand, brought his right hand down and wiped it off on his pants, and then came back up, grabbed the ball and let it fly because his hand was a little bit slippery from the rain?
So here's another thing. Apparently he has trouble throwing a wet ball.
I mean, tell me who doesn't have trouble throwing a wet ball.
It's a good chance it rains again in San Francisco this weekend for the championship game.
I mean, throwing a wet ball when you have 300+ pound men running full speed at you, I mean, I think that's difficult for almost anybody.
I've seen plenty of quarterbacks that can throw wet balls.
I think
Pause.
Yeah.
You almost got me.
Yeah, right. But I think Ryan
What you say, Coach?
Ryan Clark said it best. He said it best the other day on First Take. He said he's been forced, and I think we all have been forced, to place Brock Purdy in the conversation with Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, when that is not him. Like, he is doing what all he has done was be an excellent game manager in a system that fits him.
Yeah, I said unfair comparison. Like when they started trying to compare him to Brady, I'm like, stop it. He's not Tom Brady.
It's an unfair comparison.
He's just a guy.
It's an unfair comparison. All he's been doing is showing up to work with his $800,000 salary and doing his job.
And getting it done.
Getting it done. That's it. He's been doing his job. Plain and simple. And you can't expect him. He was not the number 1 overall draft pick. He was not a Heisman winner. So he's not that dude. Heck, even Jordan. Matter of fact, the quarterback he was going against was drafted higher than him.
This is true.
He was drafted higher than him. He was a better talent coming into the league than Brock Purdy was. So
yeah, I just think it's an unfair comparison, and I'll also say the fact that he's surrounded by talent, so that's inflating the comparison. Because everybody say, "Oh, you put Brock Purdy on another team, he's trash." I'm like, you put any other quarterback on a bad team and they trash. Right. That's a bad comparison. Like, he can't help the fact that he got drafted by the 49ers and they assembled talent.
Everybody's not going to be Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady and make average guys look like Hall of Famers. They're not going to do it.
Right.
That's why they are who they are. You can't fault Brock Purdy for, like you said, the actual front office doing their job. Like, the front office did their job. This is what everybody, like, come on now. If let's be completely honest, if the front office did their job better in Baltimore, we wouldn't be talking about Lamar in a situation. He would have been got it done because he would have had the right people around him.
Perfect segue into the other matchup.
Ravens. Hold on, real quick, back to Brock Purdy.
Okay.
In his playoff stats, just alone, he's played 4 playoff games. He's got a 62.7% completion rating for 821 yards and 4 passing touchdowns and no interceptions. So that's in 4 playoff games.
He's not flashy. He's not flashy. And that's the thing. People want the stats, they want the measurables, and they want the flash. And he's just not that guy, like Cece was saying. Yeah, he just gets it done. And it ain't flashy. He don't have a big arm. Or he's not a scrambler. Like he don't run a 4-3 and play quarterback. Or he's not 6'7". So he doesn't have, you can't really put him in a bunch of categories. And I think that's what people are frustrated with, or they try to categorize him, but they can't place him. So they just call him a game manager. And I say, well, there's a bunch of game managers, but they don't play on good teams.
But meanwhile, Lamar Jackson in 5 playoff games in his entire career only has a passer rating of 75.7 with 1,052 yards, 5 touchdowns, but 5 picks in one more game.
And he was 1-3 going into Saturday.
So, like, I get.
He's an explosive talent. He's an explosive player. And the thing of it is, when you got a player like Josh Allen, you got a player like Lamar Jackson, sometimes you're gonna have to take the good with the bad.
But I just don't understand why there's so much hate on Purdy when his numbers are better than most of the other playoff quarterbacks.
Because he doesn't jump off the page. He's not flashy. He's not controversial. He ain't sending out stupid ass tweets. He ain't bitching about his contract. You see what I'm saying? Like he's just
those sound like all good things to me.
But
to a normal person, yes. But to lunatics, no, they want drama.
Guess what it is? You want to know what the problem is? It's the same problem that Dak Prescott has being where he's at. Yeah, it's the same problem. It's that it's the logo on the helmet. It's the logo on the helmet. Like Dak Prescott is living in the shadows of Troy Aikman. Like that's where he's
forever live in the shadow of Troy
Aikman. Right. And Brock Purdy is at a franchise where you got Joe Montana and Steve Young. That's what the 49ers are. That's what the 49ers faithful and everybody's comparing him to, when he's just a guy. He's just a guy that does his job.
Yep. And that's it.
He's just a guy that does his job. In most cases, Brock Purdy's career was supposed to be a backup quarterback. He's supposed to be that guy that came in and
mop
up duty and won and win. And you know what? And the thing of it is that he accepted that about himself and prepared himself for that. He just happened to be the last man standing when everybody went down.
How about we stop rating quarterbacks on 4 games played or 5 games played? Let's let them do something and quit throwing comparisons out after 4 games. Let's start right there. Who gives a shit what Brock Purdy did in 4 games? He ain't done nothing. Who cares what Lamar Jackson did in 5 games? He ain't done nothing. Quit trying to make people out to be something in 4 or 5 games. 4 or 5 games don't mean shit.
But those are 4 or 5 playoff games when it matters.
Let's let them have some longevity. So my point is, if he only plays in 4 playoff games, what the hell does that mean? That means he ain't done shit.
Can't disagree with that one.
If he only played in 5 playoff games, that means he ain't done shit. If Dak Prescott only played in 2 playoff games, he ain't done shit. So let's quit worrying about him, what he's done in 2 playoff games, because that ain't nothing.
Dak has only won 1 playoff game.
Wait a minute. So coach. So what you're saying is, it don't matter until you actually accomplish the goal that you set out to do, which is win a Super Bowl or do something substantial. How many games you played in before that? Until you cross that finish line, it don't matter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Coach said it, right? But when I was saying it last week, Wes was getting on my head. That's all I was saying. When I said, Coach, when I said I was being a petty asshole when I picked the Texans on last week, that's why. Because I was not, because I originally went into everything saying I thought I would ride with Baltimore to win the game. But I became an asshole when I said that I thought the Texans had the better chance for an upset. Not that they would win the game. That I thought they had a better chance for the upset. And I got argued up and down that Lamar's a different guy than he was in 2019. And all I said is until he actually gets over the hump and does it, how do we know?
And Lamar is a different guy than he is from 2018. But my comparison with every quarterback, right. I think it's unfair that people are going to start saying that the Texans quarterback is 0-1 in playoff games. He's only played in one. How about let's give him a chance to get some playoff games under his belt before we start judging what he's done in one damn playoff game.
Right.
Let's let him get some games under his belt. If he only gets one or two, there's nothing to judge.
Right.
If he gets 10, 12, 15 playoff games and he don't do something, okay, now it's something to talk about. We get in the habit of talking about guys doing stuff when they ain't really done nothing.
What I would say about
guys.
What I would say about like CJ Stroud and Jordan Love, like you can't don't get too high or too low on what they did. But what I would say is that they did enter the postseason and play. The moment they didn't look like deers in headlights, because you've seen some quarterbacks get out there in those moments, first time doing it, they look scared, they're like deers in headlights, and they went out there and they played the game like they were supposed to be there, and they were confident in what they were doing, and it did. So it gives you a glimpse at like, okay, they gonna be all right. Like they keep on approaching the game like this. They're gonna be a force to be reckoned with because they're not scared of the big moments. They're not scared to be on that. They're not scared to be on that stage. They standing in that pocket like they belong now. But no, don't start comparing them to quarterback greats and Tom Brady, and don't start comparing Jordan Love to Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers and Mahomes. Yeah, let's hold off on that type of stuff.
I think Mahomes is probably the only active quarterback that has more than 5 or 6 playoff games.
All right, so we're almost at the 2-hour mark, and we still got 2 more games to recap. So we're gonna move on to the Ravens and Texans game. Recap that one really quick. It was looking a little nerve-wracking for the Flock Nation. Coach put me in my place. He said this is why they play 4 quarters. So the Ravens did come out victorious. They put the Texans away in the second half. The Cinderella
Talk your shit, West End.
The Cinderella ride is over.
You say something. I said, let's not start judging these guys on a few games. And you said they're relevant guys, though. Relevant to what?
They're the relevant teams that are in the playoffs still to this point. So who else are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about Lamar Jackson. We're going to talk about Brock Purdy. We're going to talk about Jared Goff, and we're going to talk about Patrick Mahomes because those are the 4 quarterbacks left to play. So of those 4 quarterbacks, who's the only one that's got more than 4 playoff games, 5 playoff games, and that's Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, but that don't make them. To me, that don't make them relevant because they still haven't done anything.
The only one that's relevant is Patrick Mahomes.
And who's another quarterback in the league that you could even talk about as far as playoffs go, other than Patrick Mahomes?
None.
That's it.
None. That's my point. We shouldn't be talking about none of them until they won 8, 9, 10 playoff games. Then we have something to base it on. 4 or 5 is nothing to base it on.
Patrick Mahomes is going to his 6th AFC Championship game.
There's a ton of quarterbacks that never even see 4 playoff games in their entire career, though.
Exactly. So and that's what I'm saying. We shouldn't be talking about them until they go to more than 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8. Let them accomplish something. Only time that should matter, if you won 4 or 5 playoff games and you won 2 or 3 Super Bowls, okay, now you've accomplished something. Because the point I'm getting to is Jim Kelly went to 4 Super Bowls and didn't win any. Nobody is talking about how many playoff games he won.
Because he didn't win the one that mattered.
Yeah, not one single damn person.
Well, shit, we know at least, Jim Kelly, them 4 consecutive years they went to the Super Bowl, you know he at least won a minimum of 8 playoff games.
Exactly. And who talks about him?
Nobody.
My point exactly. That's what I'm getting at.
They talk about Scott Norwood more than Jim Kelly.
That's my point exactly. The people that we should be talking about with playoff wins, they find a reason to talk about them for something else other than playoff wins. The ones that we talk about that have playoff wins ain't done shit. They ain't been in no Super Bowls, no nothing.
Okay, so we think we made our point on quarterback comparisons. Don't be too quick to judge. So with that being said, the jury is still out on Brock Purdy. The jury is still out on Stroud, and the jury is still out on Jordan Love.
My question,
and honestly, the jury is still out on Jalen Hurts because he hasn't won shit either.
Hey, who is the MVP of the NFL this year?
It's Lamar's to win. I think Lamar sealed it. The way they finished the regular season, and the way Purdy kind of fell off a little bit during the middle when they had.
Why does it always have to be a quarterback? That's what I'm wondering.
Well, because that's what
I think maybe Tyreek Hill.
Honestly, I think it should still be Christian McCaffrey.
Right, it should be Christian McCaffrey.
Either McCaffrey or Tyreek Hill.
Because if you take McCaffrey off the 49ers, shit, they may not make the playoffs because the Rams was coming on strong at the end of the season.
So if you take Lamar Jackson off the Baltimore Ravens, they won't even make the playoffs as well. So that's a mute argument because both of those individuals are valuable to their organization, to their team success.
But the question is who's more valuable?
I'm not gonna say that. I think the Ravens can still, because look at how the division kind of fell apart.
Yeah, and they got that defense.
They got that defense. I don't think they would have secured the 1 seed, but they could have been a wild card.
They still would have made the playoffs.
They lost to Schittsburg with their backups.
My point exactly.
Fair.
My point exactly. Well, it was a good game this whole weekend.
You saying Lamar is not the MVP candidate? Who would you give it to?
No. I'm saying Lamar is the front runner, but it's been some speculation. There's been some talk about number 15 out of Kansas City, Missouri, too.
No.
Brother, I'm telling you.
I wouldn't be surprised
what the talk has been, man.
I think the front runner should have been Christian McCaffrey. I think the front runner should have been McCaffrey because of because all of McCaffrey did. Right.
And Hill faded down the stretch, so that's why I kind of took him off.
I think he got hurt.
That's part of it. Health is, unfortunately, in football, availability is almost as important as what you do. You got to be available. So McCaffrey was injury prone. I think he missed like 2 quarters. Played the whole season. He missed like 2 quarters.
Yeah, this motherfucker missed championship Sunday, man. This motherfucker. fantasy championship Sunday. He set out the whole goddamn second half. Shit, man. Cost me two more chips.
We all know who
rookie cost you a whole bag of Lay's, huh?
Yes. And the dip.
Man. You need to learn to have a little more self-discipline, people, champ.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, coach.
So who wins rookie of the year?
Oh, that's Stroud.
CJ?
Stroud,
it's not even close.
Not even close.
Not even close.
Who wins defensive player of the year?
Nope. Good.
That one's going to be a little closer.
It should be TJ Watt, but it won't be.
It won't be Watt. It won't be Bland from the Cowboys.
I think it's gonna be my boy from the Raiders, man.
Max Crosby?
Max Crosby?
I think it's gonna be Super Max.
It can't be Max.
Don't forget about Myles Garrett in Cleveland.
If it's Myles Garrett, if you talk about Myles Garrett in Cleveland, you might as well give it to. But depending on what they're rating it on, you might as well go ahead and give it to TJ.
Yeah, if you're going to give it to Myles Garrett, TJ Watt has better numbers.
Yeah,
and is broken and has done more damage to other teams per se than Myles Garrett has. But Myles Garrett, of course, they're both they'll both destroy a game.
It depends on what when they voted for it, when they decided for it. And as long as they had decided for it before the playoffs kicked off, then it don't hurt Myles Garrett. But if they voted on that after the playoffs kicked off, the way CJ dismantled the Browns, that don't look good.
No, that last game didn't help Garrett at all.
CJ dismantled the quote unquote number one defense.
Yeah, I did not see that one coming. They got the brakes beat off of them.
Yeah.
But we remiss to recap the new. Well, I'm sorry, we got to call them by their proper name now. The brand new Lions. The brand new Lions are in the NFC Championship for the first time since 1991.
Hey man, shout out to James Williams, St. Louis's own. Get ready to get him some work on this weekend.
Yeah, continue to do that work, Jameson, man. Keep yourself clean, man. Stay out of trouble.
Right. Stay out of trouble, dummy.
You're gonna be all right, man. You got a nice career ahead of you. Just don't do nothing stupid.
He got a pretty solid. He got a solid support system. So, hey, got a solid mom, solid dad, man. Hey, he gonna be all right.
Yeah.
So the Lions beat the Bucks, but that game was a little closer than people thought. So my question is,
it was close and then it wasn't.
The Lions secondary is atrocious. So clearly we know where they need to where they need to spend their money in the offseason and in the draft is they definitely gonna have to clean up that secondary. Do they have enough defensively to go into San Francisco and win that game?
Depends if Debo's there.
It's gonna be hard, man.
You know what?
So you saying Debo is the X factor?
Debo gonna be back, and Debo got something to prove.
Debo is 50-50. We know he's a little brittle. He could go out there and get hurt again.
Debo finna get a shot in that shoulder, and he gonna play.
Debo playing. He'll get around. He'll get that cortisoned up. He playing.
I got the email, goddamn it. Hamilton gonna take care of him, man. We ain't worried about him coming.
West End, talk up. I can't hear you, man. You in a goddamn tunnel, man? You in a goddamn you in a dungeon or something?
Did West End just jump to the Super Bowl?
I didn't hear him.
He said
I ain't heard him either.
He said he got the email and Hamilton gonna take care of him. So he just jumped past Patrick Mahomes into the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Oh boy. So back to the Lions, San Francisco.
Right, San Francisco. Get in the car with us,
if Debo plays and they put Cam Sutton on him, it's gonna be a long day.
Yeah.
They better put CJ on him and let Cam have Ayuk and shit. Even that's probably gonna be a mismatch.
Mm-hmm.
So the only hope
What's
for the
gonna be
Lions,
a mismatch? You say
anybody that can't, they put Cam Sutton on.
hey man, they gotta watch out. This is a George Kittle type of game. This NFC Championship. This will be a George Kittle type of game, man.
No,
He
the
will
only
go
chance
crazy.
Detroit has is getting to Purdy and rattling him.
Nope,
and
I'm telling you,
getting a lead,
weapon.
get a lead on San Francisco and make them come from behind.
The secret weapon is going to be Zach Ertz,
who was just signed by the Lions yesterday.
And you know what? The crazy thing about that, this motherfucker, hey, his ass been sitting out there since the beginning of November.
Yep. Waiting for the right time.
Waiting for the right team.
And you guys know what I said weeks ago when we had Lamar Jackson there. I mean, when we had Mark Andrews went down. That would have been a perfect fill-in for Mark Andrews. I know likely
didn't need him. Y'all got likely.
I got likely.
Hey, man,
you didn't need him.
I don't give a damn what you say, man. We talk about Zach Ertz, man.
Well, the Lions needed him, and they're going to use him. And
Zach Ertz was good as an Eagle.
You got him and Laporta over the middle.
That's gonna be scary. That's gonna be scary because now you opening it up because you got to play Ertz. You got to play Ertz. Ertz is still deadly. He can still catch. He's still a top 20 tight end. I don't give a damn what you say. You got Ertz, and now you got the top 20, and then arguably the number 1 tight end in football, Laporta.
And then you know what that's going to do?
I don't think there's going to be much argument behind it.
That's going to clear it out for Gibbs and St. Brown.
Hey, man, no, you can't forget about Reynolds neither, because you think about it, hey, the Detroit Lions just got just as much offensive firepower than the damn San Francisco 49ers.
And then there's your linchpin right there. The 49ers are going to blitz the hell out of Goff because he's not very mobile. They're going to blitz him to the end of time. So Detroit needs to come out and run the ball. And they got away from it, and that's what kept Tampa Bay in that game. Keep running the rock.
With David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs, I think they'll be just fine.
Man, keep running them too. I'm telling you. It's going to open up everything else.
They're going to throw the ball to Zach Ertz and Laporta.
They should eat crazy. They should just go feasting that day. It should be the Ertz and Laporta show.
You are not going to be able to find 2 outside linebackers that are going to be able to play those 2 tight ends, plus be aware of the check downs with those running backs.
Yep. With nothing but open real estate. So, with that being said, Coach, back to your theory about the colors. So, we clearly see that these games can go either way. Does your theory still hold up of a Baltimore-San Francisco Super Bowl?
Yep. Because this shit set up.
What'd you say, Coach? Because what?
This shit set up.
It is.
The league is not going to let Detroit come off of their worst season and make it to the playoffs this first year and go all the way to the Super Bowl. Just not going to happen.
It wasn't their worst year.
No, they didn't go 0-16 this year.
They ain't going 16. They kept Green Bay out the playoffs. I didn't think they finished above 500.
Yeah, Detroit started signs of this stuff last season.
Right. So
I think you could throw Dan Campbell's name in the hat or name in the ring for Coach of the Year also now.
It's either him or D'Amico Ryans.
Yeah, them the 2 front runners, man.
If they could give Cole Coaches of the Year, I think both of them should get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So pivoting over to the AFC because we kind of touched on the NFC Championship.
Hold on. Hey, before we pivot, I gotta ask one question, man. Do Aaron Glenn get an opportunity to be a head coach in the NFL? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
You guys think so?
Yep.
Where would he fit in?
I hope he don't go to the damn Panthers.
That's probably where he's going to end up.
I know that's where he's going to end up, and I'm like, man, don't do it.
Don't do it.
Do not take that damn job.
Hey, you heard Uncle Bill and Jimbo Harbaugh. Hey, both of them had second interviews.
Yeah, we touched on that earlier. Falcons and Coach don't think he's leaving Michigan. Coach think he going back to Michigan. I still think he's going to the Chargers.
I think Michigan go throw a shit ton of money at him, man.
Michigan is already throughout to make him the highest paid coach in college football.
Would you say in the entire football in football period?
In the NCAA, yeah.
And they already have a contract to make him the highest paid football coach in college football.
Yeah, the way the numbers I'm hearing they throw out, that's gonna make him the highest paid goddamn coach in football, period. Pros and college. Shit. The crazy numbers they was talking about.
And that's how to keep him out of the NFL.
Money talks.
And the selling factor is you have complete autonomy of the program. That's it. No one's looking over your shoulder. No one is on your ass. No, you ain't having them Monday evening dinners with the owners saying what's going on. Hey, you got complete and total autonomy.
And the only way they do that is to know that the NCAA is not gonna fool with him.
That's the only way he goes back. If he knows that for sure.
The only way they would put that kind of money out there is to know that the NCAA is not going to come after him. Because they've already suspended him twice.
He's a damn cheater.
So if the NCAA goes after him again, Michigan is going to say, you trying him again for something that he's already been suspended for. And then now it becomes a battle with the NCAA. And the NCAA really don't want to go through that.
They don't want them problems, huh?
No. They got enough shit going on.
Oh, man.
Because they have, remember, the NCAA has all this lingering bullshit with the gymnastics debacle.
The Duke lacrosse team.
Yep, the Duke lacrosse. They got the issue with the softball coaches. They had the issue with the girls.
Punter.
It's all kinds of.
Hey, don't forget about Rick Pitino, goddammit.
Yeah, there's all kinds of shit going on with the NCAA that have been kind of swept under the rug that they don't want to start resurfacing.
Hold on, Coach. BP. Did you take some? Did you stop at the gas station to get you some Happy Juice, man, on your way down here?
He might have.
Oh man, hey, I stopped by.
You hella turned up.
Hey man, I got me a cappuccino, man. I need that on my drive back.
They've got you a double shot in there or something.
Oh yeah, you know it, baby.
You extra turned up. Shit, drink some water, my dude.
Hey man, it has been a lot of controversy in college sports, man. And like Coach say, you don't want to open up them can of worms again. Let a sleeping dog lie. Period. Point blank.
Yeah, man.
You could take that same analogy to Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, because somebody done lit a fire up their ass because they on a roll. The Chiefs,
I told you them boys are gonna start catching the ball in the cold.
Chiefs knocked off.
I think Harbaugh. Hey, just don't give the Chiefs no bulletin board material. Keep the shit. Hey, we professionals. We going after each other. No bulletin board material. We don't need nobody saying nothing stupid. But I'm gonna tell you what will be more gratifying for Lamar is to knock off Patrick Mahomes towards the Super Bowl. That would say something about Lamar. I mean, even though this will only be his third career playoff victory, but that would say something. And then that would create the little rival buzz. Because in order to be a rival, you got to win, you got to lose. It got to be back and forth. Right. Like everybody want to say Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes is a rival.
That's not a rival.
No, they're not a rival. They're not a rival. It's not it only becomes a rival when each side wins consistently.
Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow is a rival.
That's more of a rival than Josh Allen and Mahomes because Burrow won. He's beaten Mahomes.
Right, he beat Mahomes.
He beat him to go to the Super Bowl.
Uh-huh.
But he only beat him once. All the other times,
he still beat him.
Okay.
He beat him once.
All it takes is once.
That's all it takes.
It was that whole Burrowhead incident.
Well, that was that dumbass governor that put out that bulletin board material. And that's why Kelsey said what he said in the Super Bowl. Told that dude to know your role and shut your mouth.
That's why they didn't reelect his ass neither. Bastard.
Bastard.
Talk too much.
Why he had to be a bastard?
Because, man, hey, he went and talked, and then the following year, Joe Burrow get hurt. Hey, man, it's his damn fault, man. You got to blame him, man. Shit, it's his fault, man.
It got nothing to do with that raggedy turf at Paycor Stadium that took out how many people? They had a whole body count. Somebody almost died on that field.
You blame the governor, man.
Hey, man.
Hey, D, would you say that field is haunted, huh?
Man, tell you, dude, that field done took out many people.
Send the bulldozers. Just knock the damn stadium down, man.
I need to start over.
But you know what though, D, you made a good point. I know last week on last Thursday's show, man, when you were, I don't know if that was you, I think that was you that said all the NFL games need to be played indoors. And no, that wasn't you. I take that back.
No, I wasn't.
That was Woods and Sanford I was talking to. And they were saying why,
all your playoff
it would
games.
only make sense.
Yeah,
it would only make sense. All the playoff games, and every stadium should get a retractable roof. Summertime, you can leave the roof open. Fall, leave it open. But when it's like the blizzard type stuff like it was in Buffalo, get a retractable roof.
Well, they voted it down.
Billions. They make. I don't know why.
They voted it down, BP. They get a new stadium in the 26th year, and they said that weather doesn't bother them, and it's part of their advantage.
No, man, but you got to look at it too, man. You want your city to host the Super Bowl.
Hey, man, I bet you they ain't saying that when that motherfucking field goal went wide, right?
Hey, Coach, you ain't lying. I know they wish they had a retractable roof when he kicked that damn field goal.
Because I swear to God, it looked like somebody would. Hey, you know what I thought about when he kicked that mug?
It was a boomerang kick.
I thought about Lawrence Stevenson. Remember Stevenson?
What'd you say, Coach?
Stevenson, when he was blowing at Kobe.
And LeBron.
Come
on, Lance Stevenson.
Lance.
Stevenson. Oh, yeah. Holding his shorts and bending over him.
Oh, man, that is hilarious.
When I saw that ball go.
Well, here's my theory on it. And I said the same thing about baseball because baseball is a summer sport, but you play your most important games in the cold and the snow. And this is why I say that they need to shave off a month at the beginning and end of the season so you have your most important games while the weather is still decent. So your theory on having all the NFL playoff games being indoors, that negates your home field advantage because everybody doesn't have a retractable roof. So let's just say Buffalo has to play a neutral site game because there's a blizzard up there. That neutralizes their home field advantage. So then what essentially are you playing for in the regular season other than home field advantage?
But you gotta look at it like this too, D. you got to look at it like this too, man. If they, compared to that open air stadium, if they are inside, when them fans go screaming and shit, man, when the other team can't get the plays in, that's an advantage, man. That's an advantage. Like when Baker Mayfield was looking to the sideline, telling the sideline he can't hear. That's that advantage, man. We talk about advantage.
Somebody need to tell those girls though that she need to know who got a retractable stadium, who got a dome, and who don't.
Hey man,
because that shit's still funny as hell to me.
I said,
"Oh, you talking about your girl that did a whole she hit a whole bump?"
I mean, she looked at the weather. She knew what the temperature was gonna be in Detroit on Sunday. She had it all down packed, and Todd, he just stood there and let her say all that stuff just to say, you know, he's playing inside.
Hey, I always said if baseball had to go as deep as they had to go, why not use the spring training facility?
Yeah.
Everybody playing in warm weather city for spring training when they don't even freaking need to.
They're already down in the warm, like in California and Florida.
Right.
Arizona, Florida.
So why not play those playoff games at their spring training facility?
Well,
they make enough money.
You piss off your fan base because now they can't. They have to fly and travel to attend the game.
Dude, the same people that go to spring training are the same people that go to the damn home games.
Yep.
Season ticket holders.
Yep. Same people. Same people. You just make those spring training facilities, use all that money you making all year long to make those facilities better. Force some of these jackasses that's making all this money, like the Marlins and the Cardinals, to quit sharing a stadium and build their own facility. So when they get into the playoffs and it gets October, when it's cold, you got your own place to go to.
That's a good topic. We should probably touch on that more when we get into our hot stove league talk and whatnot. But we are way over on time. I apologize. We did go over a little bit over tonight.
Right.
We're gonna
touch on the Hall of Fame guys.
We
Shout
did
out to the Hall of Fame inductees.
We can say that. We can say that for Thursday, and we can say about what the hell's for Thursday as well. So we're gonna go ahead and put a pin in it. What's that, BP?
I said we can put a pin in it to Thursday.
Yeah, we're gonna put a pin in it to Thursday. Thanks everybody for tuning in to No Balls, No Glory this evening. I'm your gracious host. I hope I did a good job filling in for the People's Champ who was on the road tripping off some damn cappuccino.
Right.
But we'll be back at you on Thursday. We'll do our NFC, AFC championship preview, more NBA updates.
And we'll also revisit the best soap opera in the entire sports world as the world turns in Dallas.
Dallas Cowboys. We did miss that. And I will not forget to bring that back up. And hopefully Game will join us as our inside resident Cowboys fan and give us some inside scoops maybe we don't know about. So catch us on Thursday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Hopefully our host
send us out of here, CC.
Oh, hold on. Wait a minute. Y'all gotta...
She wasn't ready. We did it too quick.
See, hey, when you stay ready, you don't have to get ready, CC.
You just arrive alive, man. You drink you some water.
Oh man, I got G in the car with me, so we good.
All right.